Welcome to Cross Culture New Mexico. I'm your host, Mark Tross. We're going to continue our series on Hanukkah and the traditional Jewish observance of this 8-day feast. Let's start by saying that it begins with what is known as the Hanukkah. Now you'll see that this is different than a traditional menorah because it has 9 different candle spots. This is a little dreidel here. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is actually a menorah that was purchased by a Holocaust survivor on the 25th of December in 2005, which was the 24th of Kislev on the Jewish calendar. So the 8-day Hanukkah is something that you need to know and understand. Let me just start out by pointing again to the center candle right here. This candle lights all of the other candles in succession, and so this candle here is called the shamash or the shamish, which means the servant candle. The servant lights the light of all the other candles on each consecutive night, the 8 nights of Hanukkah. And so now that you know and understand that, let's move on to some of the things that would be done. They'd be eating potato pancakes and Israeli donuts, about the miracle of the oil. And so these things are baked or cooked in oil. And I mentioned the dreidel on the Hanukkah, and we're going to start off with this little dreidel here. And this is a traditional Jewish dreidel that was also purchased in Israel. And it has 4 different symbols on it: the nun, the Gimel, you have the Hey, and you have the Shin. Okay, now all of these phrases come together and they stand for Nes Gadol Haya Sham. A great miracle happened here, and they would use this dreidel to spin and play the game. And customs tell us that during the Maccabean period, because of the anti-Semitic policies of the Syrians, they were not able to publicly teach Torah, or even privately if they were caught. And so they made up this little game, and they would gather together in the streets and they would play and pretend to be engrossed in the game as the leader would share the Torah, or the 5 books of Moses, the law. And they would get money, what they call Hanukkah Gelt. And I have here actually 2 coins from Israel as well. They were purchased in Jerusalem. And so they would play for money. And this is usually foil-covered chocolate in our day for the most part, as they wager and make more money, would be make the game a little bit more interesting. And so also I want to share the fact, and this is what we're going to end with here. Often people try to establish a connection between Christmas and Hanukkah simply because they occur at the same time. Remember, the 25th of Kislev or the 25th of December. However, they celebrate 2 entirely different events. One, the birth of the Messiah. The other, the deliverance of Israel from its oppressors. Now, the argument is whether Jesus was born on December 25th. I don't absolutely believe so, but we will talk about that in our next segment. Any intermingling of the 2 celebrations is often man-made. Nonetheless, there are a number of compelling reasons for believers in Yeshua, and that's his Hebrew name, which means Messiah, or the Christ, the Anointed One. That's Jesus' name. For believers in Yeshua to celebrate Hanukkah, or the Feast of Dedication. So be sure to check out our first and second part to this Hanukkah message, as well as our next one, Hanukkah in the New Testament. Visit our website, crossculturenm.weebly.com. Be sure to join us on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, LinkedIn, and other social media sites.